I am Kara Warner, back here at the People EW studio at TIFF. Right now I am here with the wonderful cast and director of the greatest beer run ever. It is an incredible story that we're going to get into. Loaded first question. What for you all is like the wildest part of this story? If you could pick like the thing.
Just that it's a true story. I mean, all of this really happened. You know, it's one of those unbelievable real-life scenarios that you just can't believe a guy got himself into. And in one way or another, everybody here plays a character that's instrumental in, I don't know, a really beautiful story about human nature and love and about war and a really difficult time, but has a great sense of humor about it, and I think it's fantastic.
Also, the idea that the craziness of a person trying to bring beer to friends during the Vietnam War and happening to land right before the Tet Offensive, which was the biggest battle at the war up to that point and the turning point of the war, that's what blows my mind.
Yeah. Is that you can flip it too, like with the wildest part of the shoot in capturing like what you guys all went through? Because I know there was some realisticness in some of the war zone stuff. Can you talk about that for us?
I mean, going to Thailand was an insane experience. I'd never been there, and it rained. It rained really hard one night before shooting, and so there was just mud everywhere. You were up to your knees in mud. So that was probably the craziest part for me.
And that was a different kind of mud. I don't know if you remember. It's the heaviest. It's like cement. Yeah. It doesn't come off. You couldn't scrape it off. Each foot was like 25 pounds more after it. After walking through it.
Yeah, it was thick. A lot of the scenes in the trenches felt very real. It was, you're looking around just going, man, this is really what it must have been like.
I cut Jake off. What were you saying?
I was just going to say, it's more like, it was like muck, really. It was just stuck to you everywhere.
Yeah. I think one of the really special elements is that you're here with the real life people. Well, the actors are here with real life people you play. Can you each talk about like what has been the best part about meeting these real people?
I met Tom this morning while I was getting my makeup done for this, and I was kind of nervous because I just kind of hoped that I'd done him justice, and he was just so lovely and so happy that he enjoyed the film. So yeah, that was a little bit of pressure off my shoulders. That was a big part. I just wanted to do him justice. So seeing him happy was good. It was nice.
Yeah,
it's quite a rarity to play someone who's still alive and who's, you know. And also, I think, given the time, I know that Christine, I feel so fortunate to have played her because she's such an amazing woman and such, you know, so much was happening at that time in terms of social change. I feel like she's kind of the moral linchpin of the story. And I know that, you know, it was invigorating playing someone so passionate, who believes so passionately in, you know, which is fighting for.
Yeah. I think also in this case, it's nice to say, like, everyone's still alive.
You know, back in the day, he would have just been, I guess, insane. I don't know. He's just one of those crazy guys that seems to land on his feet all the time. I think we've all had friends like that. But in real life, he just couldn't be more lovely and sweet. And he enjoyed being a part of the filming process. You know, he was there. He offered a lot of insights. And so, yeah, I feel like I get a good vibe from hanging out with him. I think we did the story justice. And once again, I just can't believe that this happened.
Yeah, I can't either. Just the whole sequence of events as well. I'm just wondering if we could all just talk a little bit, pretend Zach isn't here, and talk about like what you enjoyed most about watching him in this movie. Because you and I talked a little bit about how this is a really different thing for Zach to do. And then, of course, you know, the experience flexing different acting muscles for you.
I was impressed with his New York accent, for one thing. He nailed that. You really did. And he reminded me of, I always say this, but he reminded me of a young Travolta. He reminds me of Travolta in Saturday Night Fever in this thing, because he's got kind of the same personality, too. Like, he's a little nuts. He's not, like, the sharpest guy, but he means well. He's always trying to improve, and his heart's in the right place, but he might not do the right thing. And it's an easy person to root for.
Yeah, Chicky, not Zach, yeah.
Yes. The character. Yes. Thank you for clarifying.
Yeah.
He's a moron. No. No. Yeah, he plays a character that is really quite lovable, like Travolta would. Anyway.
Yeah.
I had started working with him near the end of the Thailand shoot, and I had heard everything from the flooding to the mud to the absolute insanity that he had to deal with. So I was expecting like an actor that was like over it, like done, like get me out of here. But I showed up and it was like he was shot out of a cannon. I don't think I've seen too many people work harder and with more energy.
I think,
than
aren't you in every scene?
I think so.
I think in every scene in the film.
Yeah, that's the thing is like you led it so wonderfully because this film is like follows you, Chicky, going through this country and then having to work and bring the same energy with all the actors and characters that you meet along the way, and you just did a great job, man.
I mean, that was one of the cooler things about this story was every time a new character would come in, it was a whole new chapter. So it's kind of this sequence of Chicky landing in progressively more dangerous scenarios with a purpose to meet one of his friends, and every one of these guys just delivered on a great level. It felt like you were transported and learning a new lesson every time you met a new character. So.
Yeah, and there was a different Chicky every time. They all dragged something else out of you. You were different with Bill Murray than you were with Russell Crowe, and every one of these characters is really interesting.
Yeah, it's so fun to watch. Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Is there anything else like you guys want to tease out about what you experienced? I mean, or what it was like for you, kind of, because this is new for you. Not that you've not done comedy, but it's kind of a lighthearted romp, if I'm okay describing it that way.
It starts in a war.
In a war zone.
You haven't seen it, have you?
No, I
kidding.
have.
Okay.
Because
No,
it is
it
lighthearted.
starts as a light-hearted romp, but then the reality of Vietnam sets in.
Yes, true,
and it
true.
does start that way. But it kind of sneaks up on you. But once he gets there and starts seeing what's really happening, it kind of has a turn, and that's what I'm most proud of. Is that it's different than other movies, Vietnam movies. First of all, because you're seeing it from a civilian point of view.
Right.
But it does show you stuff that, I mean, other movies have shown similar things, but it's the balance of the storytelling that is different than most of these things.
Right.
Yeah, I think what Chicky said in the book is that life can be funny, but it's certainly no joke. So there's a lot of, it almost feels insane to be sitting here, we're the people pretending, kind of prancing around, but the real guys are, right over there. So,
Right.
I kept having to tell him, stop prancing. This is it's a Vietnam movie, Jake. He'd be
how I
prancing
feel, man.
across the battlefield. Like, don't do that. Come on, man.
Gotcha.
Pete just does really well, which is thread the needle and balance humor in really serious scenarios.
Yeah.
And kind of always finding the light, the humor, and the love and the compassion, the human element in very serious subject matter. And that's the coolest way, I think, to explore these matters. Something like war is a really hard thing to talk about. We have to take it seriously and be very accurate with all this subject matter, and to explore it this way with sort of through the point of view of the audience and still have an uplifting experience is a tremendous achievement.
Yes, you guys, and also like very respectfully, corrected, lighthearted romp in some elements. So I do misspeak a little there because
Be careful what you say.
exactly. No, that's all the time we have. But I thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
I can't
This
wait
is
for people
awesome.
to see it.
Appreciate it.
I know. That's